A couple of weeks ago, we have discussed about systems development and one of its methodologies, which is the waterfall. Why are we developing systems? We create systems or develop systems in order to improve productivity in the organization. We have learned that in waterfall methodology, it is a sequential development process that flows like a waterfall through all phases of a project, which are planning, analysis, design, implementation, and support, for example, with each of these phases completely wrapping up before the next phase begins. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And at this moment, we are going to discuss about the Agile methodology.
The history of Agile. The contemporary Agile approach was formally established in 2001 when 17 software development experts gathered to discuss alternative project management methodologies. The first part in the history of Agile methodology began in the late 1990s and early 20s, when software development practitioners questioned the effectiveness of traditional methodologies. To address these challenges, a group of influential figures in the field convened in Oregon during the spring of 2000. They sought to expedite development timeliness, enhance software delivery, and prioritize customer satisfaction. On February 11 to 13, 2001, a group of 17 software developers met at a ski resort in Utah to discuss their concerns about the traditional waterfall method of software development. The waterfall method is a linear approach to software development that involves a series of steps, from planning to development to testing to deployment. The developers who met in Utah were frustrated with the waterfall method's rigidity and inflexibility. They felt that it did not allow for enough collaboration with customers or for changes be made to the software once development had begun. February 17, 2001. The 17 developers who met in the Utah published the Agile Manifesto, a document that outlines the 12 principles of Agile development. This was a pivotal moment in the history of Agile. The Agile Manifesto emphasized the importance of individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. 2001 and present. The Agile Manifesto has had a major impact on the software development industry. It has led to the development of a number of Agile frameworks such as Scrum, Kanban, and Extreme Programming. Agile frameworks have become the standard approach to software development for many organizations. The gathering identified two crucial opportunities: accelerating the delivery of benefits to users and obtaining prompt feedback for ongoing improvement. This marked a significant shift in approach, valuing change, fostering collaboration, and prioritizing customer value. The history of Agile is a testament to its transformative power in software development and project management. It has revolutionized organizational success by embracing change, valuing individuals and interactions, and focusing on delivering customer value.
Agile software development refers to software development methodologies centered around the idea of iterative development, where requirements and solutions evolve through collaboration between self-organizing cross-functional teams. Agile methods or agile processes generally promote a disciplined project management process that encourage frequent inspection and adaptation, a leadership philosophy that encourage teamwork, self-organization, and accountability. The 12 Principles of Agile. The Agile Manifesto also outlined 12 core principles for the development process. They are as follows: satisfy customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable work. 2. Break big work down into smaller tasks that can be complete quickly. 3. Recognize that the best work emerge from self-organized team. 4. Provide motivate individuals with the environment and support they need and trust them to get the job done. 5. Create processes that promote sustainable efforts. 5. Maintain and constant pace for complete work. 7. Welcome changing requirements, even late in a project. 8. Assemble the project team and business owners on a daily basis throughout the project. 9. Have the team reflect at regular intervals on how to become more effective. Then tune and adjust behavior accordingly. 10. Measure process that the amount of complete work. 11. Continually seek excellence. And lastly, harness change for a competitive advantage. So, agile software development, ito ay isang pamamaraan sa pagde-develop ng software na nakatuon sa idea ng iterative development o ang paulit-ulit ng pag-uunlad ng mga kinakailangan at solusyon sa pamamagitan ng kooperasyon ng mga self-organizing cross-functional teams. Ang agile methods o prosesong agile ay nakatataguyod ng isang disiplinadong pamamahala ng proyekto na nag-e-encourage ng madalas na pagsusuri at pag-a-adapt ng isang filosofiya ng pamumuno ng nagtataguyod ng team, work, or self-organization at pananagutan. Isang set ng mga engineering best practices na naglalayong magbigay daan sa mabilis paghahati ng mataas na kalidad ng software at isang pang-ekonomiyang pamamaraan ng nag-a-align ng pagbuo ng software sa pamamagitan ng mga customer at layunin ng kumpanya. Ang konsepto ng agile development ay tumutukoy sa anumang proseso ng pagde-develop na naayon sa mga prinsipyo ng Agile Manifesto. Ang nagsabing manifesto ay likha ng isang grupo ng 14 na nangungunang personalidad sa industriya ng software. Ito ay naglalarawan sa kanilang mga karanasan at kung ano ang epektibo ng pagbuo ng software. Sa kabuuan, ang agile software development ay naglalayong bigyang diin ang kolaborasyon, adaptability at pag-aalaga at sa pangangailangan ng customer. Isa ito pangunahin sa ligan sa modernong mundo ng pagbuo ng software ng patuloy na nagbabago at nag-e-evolve.
Agile Models. Crystal Agile Methodology places a strong emphasis on fostering effective communication and collaboration among team members, as well as taking into account the human elements that are crucial for a successful development process. This methodology is particularly beneficial for projects with a high degree of uncertainty where requirements tend to change frequently. A turn. This methodology is tailored for projects with moderate to high uncertainty where requirements are prone to change frequently. Its clear-cut roles and responsibilities focus on delivering working software in short time frames. Governance practices set it apart and make it an effective approach for teams and projects. Feature-driven development. This approach is implemented by utilizing a series of techniques like creating feature lists, conducting model evaluations, and implementing a design by feature method. To meet its goal, this methodology is particularly effective in ensuring that the end product is delivered on time and that it aligns with the requirements of the customer. Scrum. This methodology serves as framework for tackling complex projects and ensuring their successful completion. It is led by a Scrum Master who oversees the process and a product owner who establishes the priorities. The development team accountable for delivering the software is another key player. Extreme programming. It uses specific practices like pair programming, continuous integration, and test-driven development to achieve these goals. Extreme programming is ideal for projects that have high levels of uncertainty and require frequent changes, as it allows for quick adaptation to new requirements and feedback. Lean development. It is rooted in the principles of lean manufacturing and aims to streamline the process by identifying and removing unnecessary steps and activities. This is achieved through practices such as continuous improvement, visual management, and value stream mapping, which helps in identifying areas of improvement and implementing changes accordingly. Unified process. Unified process is a methodology that can be tailored to the specific needs of any given project. It combines elements of both waterfall and agile methodologies, allowing for iterative and incremental approach to development. This means that the UP is characterized by a series of iterations, each of which results in a working product increment, allowing for continuous improvement and the delivery of value to the customer. All, a- all agile methodologies discussed above share the same core values and principles, but they may differ in their implementation and specific practices. Agile development requires a high degree of collaboration and communication among team members, as well as a willingness to adapt to changing requirements and feedback from customers. In the Agile model, the requirements are decomposed into many small parts that can be incrementally developed. The Agile model adopts iterative development. Each incremental part is developed over an iteration. Each iteration is intended to be small and easily manageable and can be completed within a couple of weeks only. At a time, one iteration is planned, developed, and deployed to the customers. Long-term plans are not made.
Next, here are some common usages of Agile. Number one is software development. Agile is widely used in the software development industry to create flexible and responsive products that meets changing customers' requirements. It allows teams to rapidly iterate and test their code, enabling them to react quickly to user feedback and market changes. Number two, product management. Agile is used to product management to support a customer-centric approach to development. Teams can use Agile to rapidly develop and launch minimum viable products, allowing them to test ideas quickly and cheaply. This helps them to rapidly determine the features that are most valuable to customers. Number three, marketing. Agile is also used in marketing to create a dynamic and flexible approach to product development. Marketing teams can use Agile to rapidly launch and test marketing campaigns, allowing them to quickly change their strategy in response to customers' feedback. Number four, research. Agile is used in research to support a flexible and collaborative approach to research projects. Teams can use Agile to quickly and efficiently produce results, reducing the need of lengthy report writing or other administrative tasks.
We will discuss the primary benefits of Agile, including increased visibility, increased adaptability, increased alignment, increased business value, increased customer satisfaction, and decreased risk. First, increased visibility. Visibility into what's being done, when, and how increases transparency of leadership while improving accountability across the organizations. Increased visibility helps every person understand how their work ties into the big picture, and understanding why their work matters is critical for morale. So, ayon, Ang increased visibility sa Agile, hindi lang siya nagtatrack ng progress, kundi nagkikreate din siya ng transparent, collaborative, and informed environment na nagsusupport ng effective decision making. Next, increased adaptability. Increased adaptability is a core benefit of Agile because it aligns with the realities of dynamic business environments, changing requirements, and the need for rapid responses to customer feedback. By embracing adaptability, Agile methodologies enable teams to navigate uncertainties, manage risk effectively, and deliver value in a changing landscape. Next, increased alignment. Increased adaptability can't happen without increased alignment. Increased alignment is a crucial aspect that contributes to the overall success of a project. Alignment refers to ensuring that all stakeholders, including team members, customers, and business leaders, share a common understanding of the project goals, priorities, and expectations. So dito sa increased alignment, aims to create an environment kung saan lahat ay involved sa project. Nag-work sila together towards sa isang common goal, which is yung overall success ng isang project. Next, increased business value. The goal of any agile team is to increase the value created for the customer. Without a deliberate focus on creating customer value, it is easy to lose sight of what should drive business decisions. Agile empowers everyone at every level of the organizations to ensure that work is done in a way that maximizes customer value. Next, increased customer satisfaction. Agile team starts with the understanding that satisfying the customer is the highest priority. Successful Agile prioritize regular interactions with the customers. In the beginning, Agile teams clarify expectations and ensures they prioritize the customer problems they need to address. Then they start delivering a working version of a software on a frequent basis to demo functionality for customers throughout the development process. Doing so provides an ongoing opportunity for the customer feedback. Product owners can use this customer feedback to prioritize development of certain features while moving other items that are less important into the product backlog to be tackled later. Lastly, decreased risk. Under the Agile model, you are incrementally reducing risk with every iteration and release you do. Mitigating risk, the fast feedback loops allow you to further reduce product risk by delighting the customer with what they value and what they need. Agile methodologies provide a framework for decreasing risk. It is important to note that the effectiveness of risk reduction depends on the proper implementation of Agile principles and practices, as well as the specific context of the project.
The Agile team. The Agile team consists of different people with different roles and responsibilities to perform. In each Agile team, there are several important Agile team roles. How many you use in your organization will vary according to the size of your team and the complexity of your project. However, at the minimum, you need two team roles. Starting off with number one is the product owner. The product owner manages product roadmap and prioritizes the backlog. When we say a product roadmap, it means it is a high-level visual summary that maps out the vision and direction of your product offering over time. They have the authority to make key decisions and in particular are responsible for making sure that the team is working on the right items. It is helpful for the product owner to be able to communicate effectively with stakeholders. The product owner should be able to understand what customers want and make adjustments accordingly. Number two is the developer. The developer works on prioritized work by the product owner in the sprint. When we say sprints, these are the time-boxed periods of 1 week to 1 month during which a product owner, scrum master, and scrum team work to complete a specific product addition. During a sprint, work is done to create new features based on the user stories and backlog. A new sprint starts immediately after the current sprint ends. Usually, kapag naririnig natin yung word na sprint, we would already know na ito ginagamit ito sa Scrum methodology, which later on matatakal din natin. An agile team consists of more than one developer, but these are the next essential role after the product owner. Developers will build your product and they are responsible for programming, testing, and debugging the product. Just like us in our OOP subject, right? We are developing, programming, testing our product. So basically, we are the developer. This means na sa atin nakasalalay yung magiging output ng product. Number three is the stakeholder. The stakeholder identifies customer needs and feedback to the product owner during the course of the project. As the name suggests, stakeholders are anyone internal or external to an organization who has an interest in the project being worked on. Internal stakeholders work for the organization developing the product and can include employees and managers, all the same up to senior leaders. External stakeholders tend to include customers, suppliers, partners, and investors. Stakeholders count as part of the broader Agile team because they provide input on how the product should develop. They can also help to decide how to deal with any issues that arise during the development. Number four is the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master removes obstacles to team progress, which include scope creep, and they support team. When we say scope creep, this happens when changes are made to the project scope without any control procedures like change requests. This can occur when the scope of a project is not properly defined, documented, or controlled, which is generally considered harmful. Scrum Masters facilitate Scrums, which is the agile framework that focuses on time-boxed iterations called sprints, which we have discussed a while back. Scrum Masters act as coaches to the rest of the team. So, what is the meaning of Scrum? The Scrum is a development methodology that emphasizes customer interaction, feedback, and adjustments. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito ay kasama natin yung mga customers during the development phase. Every after the sprint, we can have the opportunity to gain their feedback about our product, about the adjustments that needs to take place. Next, number five is the team leader. Where the Scrum Master is a role specific to Scrum, the team leader is a role in an agile team using Kanban methodology. Team leaders are there to ensure that the team is following the agile process while also facilitating effective communication within the team. So, what is Kanban methodology? Kanban project management is an agile framework used to visualize and improve workflows, reduce waste and inefficiency, and increase team focus by limiting work in progress. What is then the difference between the Scrum Master and the team leader? The team leader's role is rooted in command and control thinking, hence reduces team involvement. The Scrum Master's role assumes servant leadership, a way of leading people without having formal authority over them. The Scrum Master resorts to setting a shared vision, involving everyone in the decisions, coaching the group and the individuals, and work within the rest of the company to remove impediments. But this doesn't mean that one is better than the other, because both play their own important roles. Number six is the tester. As the name suggests, The tester works with the product owners to define acceptance criteria and check for mistakes before sending the product to the client. This is another Agile team role that is largely optional and usually only needed on complex projects. Independent testers and auditors are there to catch any mistakes the Agile team has made before delivering the project to a client, much as an editor at a magazine checks articles before sending them to be published. Number 7 is the architect. The architect maintains the agreed upon structure of the product and ensure that it meets the requirements. Architects may be needed to ensure a solution works within the context of an enterprise structure. They do not need or set the architectural direction of a project, but they facilitate architectural decision making and planning. Number 8 is the technical and domain experts. The technical and domain experts advertise on technical and technological decisions in line with the agreed project scope. These are often brought into a team on an ad hoc basis to help overcome specific challenges. They advise on technical decisions to ensure to a project is technically coherent and meets the appropriate standards. They will manage the technical aspects of a solution and approve it before deployment. They are also likely to have the final say on any differences between members of the Agile team when it comes to technology. Number 9 is the DevOps. The DevOps work on version control, testing, security, integration, and development. And lastly, the UX designer. The UX designer work with the product owner to come up with the designs of the product. Now, what is the difference between Agile and Waterfall? As we know, Waterfall was the most popular back in the day, not until Agile was discovered or was developed and was used. To better understand their differences, we have categorized them in terms of their functions, starting up with its life cycle. Agile has multiple but shorter software development life cycles, while Waterfall has a very long software development life cycle with fixed phases. The thing about waterfall methodology is that it follows a waterfall sequence. Ibig sabihin, if you started with planning, you need to go to analysis, design, implementation, then support, then go back again to the planning phase. Not unlike Agile, which has shorter life cycle but has multiple life cycle. In terms of planning, the planning in Agile is generally done for a very short term since the work product is delivered in 2 to 4 weeks, whereas planning in Waterfall is done for a long term. Sabi nga kanina, in Agile, it uses sprint, which are used to complete a specific product addition. Whereas for Waterfall, it takes really a long time. It needs to complete the cycle before it iterates. In terms of requirements, in Agile, all of the requirements of the project are not clearly defined. They rather develop over the lifetime of the project. In Waterfall, all of the requirements of the project are clearly defined before the development begins. Since Agile is very flexible, it does not require the development to be as clear as in one go. Through customer feedbacks, we can create adjustments to the development of the product. In Waterfall, the requirements should be as clear as possible because if not, the process would become way longer than expected. In terms of progress, in Agile, the progress of the project is reviewed once every day. In Waterfall, the progress of the project is reviewed once every week. In terms of team, in Agile it is self-governing. In Waterfall, it is directed from the top of the hierarchy. In terms of emphasis, in Agile, it focuses on delivery of business value to the consumer or the client. And in Waterfall, it focuses on implementing the requirements. And lastly, in terms of goal in Agile, it delivers product features in sprint to the customer. In waterfall, it delivers a complete product only once it has been completed and gone through all of the phases. Which is better between the two? Some might say Agile is better and some might say Waterfall is better, but actually, it depends on the situation. For small businesses, Waterfall might be the most ideal methodology to use, but for larger businesses, Agile would be the most ideal methodology to use. Both methodology have their own strengths and weaknesses, and both have their own uses. It is up to you if you would use Waterfall or you would use Agile.